online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
.607 Get Up and Go Show. It's Wednesday. Call it Wicked Wednesday. I don't know what else we can call it, but my mind's a blank this morning.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why.
Well, okay, maybe
Complete blank.
maybe allow me to add to that, Evan. I'm hoping it's going to turn into maybe like a Way to Go Wednesday.
Oh, that's a good one.
And we're going to maybe be saying way to go to the astronauts in the SpaceX NASA rocket launch that's set for late this afternoon.
I would agree.
And I hope we're going to be, I'm going to be cheering them on. And I'm hoping the outcome is going to be fine. The weather will be fine, and they will be safe on the mission. And by I guess 5:30 or 6:30 tonight, I'm gonna be hoping I'm saying way to go.
Yeah. Scheduled to blast off at around 4:30 something today. Don't think we're going to be able to see it from down here. I was contemplating on driving up 95 today and going up that way just to see it. I've only seen one shuttle go off. That was many, many years ago. But I don't know if I want to deal with all the traffic, because that could turn out to be a nightmare, and then I would only be adding to the situation at hand where NASA has asked people not to congregate and not to fill up the Space Coast.
You're right. They are actually urging people in Florida here to stay at home for this afternoon's launch. But do you think everybody is going to do that, Evan? Or
I don't know. I might just go out on my back patio if the weather's nice, sit out by the pool and make a sandwich and watch the rocket go up.
Yeah.
If it goes up.
I know. Yeah.
It's a big if.
If it does go up.
60% chance it will.
Yeah, because they have to have the circumstances right, like not only the launch area, but also like the weather has to be fine too out in the ocean in case push came to shove and
they have to abort.
A different kind of landing that they would have to make.
I guess Randy Siegel could give us more information on that.
Yeah, definitely.
Tell us how that works.
Yeah.
Want to say good morning to Michael Cooperman. He's up bright and early, as he is every single morning, listening to the Get Up and Go show. And of course, those of you driving into work at the crack of dawn, thanks for listening in and welcoming in. Bonnie, I noticed you got your haircut.
I did, finally. Oh, I'm sorry, Evan. I was just looking at 4:00 for tonight. Let's see, the forecast for Stewart is showing in our area anyway, 85% chance of rain.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with the Cape.
The Cape, yeah. The weather is.
We're just a little bit away.
Different, yeah. We'll have to definitely be watching that closely.
Yeah.
I went to. I go to Great Clips. I'll admit. Yep.
They did a great clip of your hair.
Yeah, and it was perfect. I had like maybe an hour and 15-minute wait, but it allowed me to do some other shopping and do a couple of other things. And then, I showed up back in line on time. And then they came out and called my name, and I had to wear my little face mask, which I did.
Okay.
Then I was out there like give or take 5 to 7 minutes. The people that had...
Wait a minute, you were in and out in 5 to 7 minutes?
Yeah.
That was it?
There were people when I got there, and a lady actually said, do you have an appointment? I'm like, yes, I do. And then they called my name like before all these people waiting outside. And they're just like, and I'm just like, oh, come on. I'm only going to be 5 minutes. It's my bangs trimmed.
So you go to Great Clips. You make an appointment. You sit in your car, correct?
Well, yeah, I did a little bit of shopping too.
Okay, so how did they notify you when it was your time?
Because they said an hour and 15 minutes, and then I came back in an hour and 15 minutes and stood outside.
All right. And then did they come out and, say Bonnie Ashley?
Yep.
And then it's like the deli line at Publix where they call your number?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you go in. How was the conditions in Great Clips? Did they have every other station set up, or how was it?
It was very sparse.
Mhm.
There were only 2 hairdressers in
Oh.
there that day,
Okay.
and very far apart, both wearing masks, wearing the gowns. And I wore my mask while they cut my bangs, and
Okay.
everything was clean.
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah.
Now, what day did you get a cut yesterday? Really?
Saturday, maybe.
And I didn't notice yesterday.
No,
Wow.
it's because my bangs have this natural curl, and
Okay.
sometimes they curl up and sometimes they push down.
Okay.
They're kind of like schizophrenic bangs.
Wait a minute. Your hair's schizo?
It is.
Okay.
It's completely nuts. You never know what it's going to do.
Okay. Okay.
It's unfriendly to me sometimes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the morning, you look in the mirror and you just look at your hair and say, all right, do what you're going to do. And that's it. That's what we get.
And with the humidity that's coming round once again, that's all you can do. Have you felt that humidity lately?
I don't
man.
notice it because when I get up in the morning, I go from my garage right into my truck. So I'm in my air conditioned truck.
Oh, see, you have it made in the shade.
Yeah.
with
And
that
then I
nice
go
big-
from the truck right into the sub-zero temperatures
Uh-huh.
of the palatial studios here, where you can hang meat from the ceiling.
It felt good in here when I walked in this
I
morning.
cooled it off. It was a little warm yesterday.
It was. I felt it, but perfect
A little muggy.
temperature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So I'll have to grab the meat off the off the cleavers that are hanging from the ceiling here in the studio.
I'll bring in some eggs tomorrow morning.
Oh wow,
We'll-
steak and eggs.
We'll have the meat and the eggs.
I like that. I like that. I'll take my eggs scrambled, please.
I saw like a kind of a weird oven, like a cool kind of looking kind of oven on TV lately,
Mhm.
where it gives you the option of it. You can turn it conventional and like cook a turkey in there.
Really?
Yeah, they were advertising this. It can do a deep frying. You can turn it into a deep fryer.
Right.
And also it dehydrates. So you can, dehydrate those bananas or oranges, what have you, make them into candies.
Uh-huh.
And this was wow, that looked like a cool deal. Only it was only like 4 payments for $49.99.
Oh wow.
It was one of those
But wait, if you act now, we'll clear off 1 payment and
Yeah.
you just have 3 payments of $49.99. Don't buy it.
Have you ever bought anything from one of those kind of infomercial like deals?
I have, but I'm very leery. But the one thing that I did buy off of an infomercial, and I went and bought it in person only because I wanted to see if it really was true to what it was that Ninja Foodie grill that I tell you about all the time.
And you loved it, right?
And I love it. That's all we cook on.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all we cook on.
Yeah.
Ninja Foodie grill. And I swear by it. It's amazing.
I would have to look into that. Ninja Foodie Grill.
Ninja Foodie grill.
All I have is at home is a deep fryer. I have a little deep fryer.
Mhm.
It can only deep fry so much, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah, the
It does
Ninja,
its thing.
you'll never use your deep fryer again to fry anything.
Oh,
Honestly, the Ninja Foodie
whoa.
grill does it all
man.
with no oil.
How much did you pay for that?
I think it was like $200.
Okay,
if I'm
and
not mistaken.
it sounds like well
But it's
worth,
worth it because you can grill steak, grill chicken, grill pork chops. You can dehydrate food. You can bake. You can. Our live video just ended on Facebook. I just noticed
And-
something happened.
So that sounds like this oven that I saw advertised.
Yeah.
And this oven they had advertised looks like some sort of almost like a microwave sort of type thing that would sit on your countertop. I don't know what that Ninja Foodie thing looks like.
It's if you Google Ninja Foodie grill, you'll see it. And you'll see exactly what it looks like. I'm trying to get the feedback up because we lost our feed on Facebook. So this way our listeners don't think that we abandon them, which that's the last thing I want people to do.
Yeah.
Let me know when you find it.
As seen on TV, Ninja Foodie
Ninja
Grill.
Foodie Grill.
Oh, that's a nice looking countertop unit too. I like it.
It's really simple. And it's very, very easy to clean as well.
Now this one has 3 easy payments of $89.67.
Okay.
So there.
Now, what website are you on?
I have to take a look.
Okay.
Ninja Food Pro 6-quart indoor air grill with smart probe and roasting rack.
That's not it. That's the wrong
No.
one. It's just got to be Ninja Foodie Grill.
Oh,
Yeah, Ninja Foodie Grill is the
Okay,
one you
maybe.
want.
all right.
Yeah, look for Ninja Foodie Grill. That would be the one.
Okay.
And you will definitely see it without a doubt.
It's a Ninja Foodie Pro indoor grill.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know it's called Ninja Foodie Grill.
All right. And does that look like it?
Let me see. Yep, that's it right there.
Wow. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, that looks like, and you know, that's 6-quart a,
Yep.
indoor. That's a-
Sorry about that.
That's a compact unit too.
Yeah, it's very very compact, very easy to use.
Yeah.
Very very simple to use. And it's really good. I swear by it. I'm telling you. It gets the job done.
Single payment of $269.98.
Okay, you can find it cheaper other places, I will tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it's $199 at other places if you look around.
I'm sure you can go find it at the B&A Fleet Market too.
I don't know if it's going to be there because you have to be an authorized representative
Oh,
to be able to sell it.
I know there is that one certain area of the flea market. It's where they sell the jewelry inside.
Right.
And it's like in a building that's, I want to say it's to the east end of the flea market, maybe way at the end.
Okay.
And I've always seen things like pressure cookers and
Mhm.
microwaves and things that they've advertised on TV,
Mhm.
selling that on the back wall in there.
Right. But yeah, it's way cool because you can cook and do so many things. I swear by this bad boy. I'm telling you. My wife loves it. That's the only way she will cook stuff.
She won't use like a crock pot.
No, she doesn't. We use a crock pot for certain things. But she likes her Ninja.
Uh-huh.
She does. It's really very, very cool. It's very easy to clean as well. Because it's stick free. So that means it has that that Teflon surface, so to speak.
Yeah. I've seen those. I want to get those little pans too. When you mentioned that Teflon surface, there are those frying pans. I think they're called like Diamond,
Mhm.
and they're no stick, no mess, no fuss, no muss.
Yeah.
And when they advertise them, they say you don't even have to put butter or oil in the pan. I don't know if I believe it. I would have to see it to believe it.
We have a couple of those Teflon pans, and it is
Yeah.
true. You don't have to put nothing in it.
Wow.
The food just like slides right off. It's like you coated it with oil or something of that sort.
See, I could handle frying my eggs and bacon and
It's great.
something like that.
Yeah. Or as G would say, begs and aching.
Eggs and bacon.
Begs and aching.
Of course, when I do make eggs, Evan, I don't even need like extra vegetable oil or butter. I just I fry those eggs up in the leftover bacon grease,
There you go.
just like Grandma used to do.
6:20 right now. It's news time. On the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by with the headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. Today's launch by SpaceX and NASA will make history, but it's also about the future of human spaceflight.
On the line, SpaceX is launching humans for the first time, and NASA wants to stop launching people into low Earth orbit, letting the private sector do it if they can.
Remember, this is a test flight. The highest priority is to test the vehicle and get it home safely, and then be prepared to launch Crew 1.
NASA's Jim Bridenstine says the agency has invested more than $3 billion to launch a commercial spaceflight industry. That way, they can focus on flying to the moon and ultimately Mars. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Weather is 60% go for the launch, scheduled for 4:33 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can hear live coverage on many of these FNN stations. NASA is urging Floridians to stay home for this afternoon's manned launch by SpaceX.
And this is a unique opportunity to bring all of America together in one moment in time and say, look at how bright the future is.
Administrator Jim Bridenstine says the space agency is following social distancing rules and limiting the number of guests who will be allowed to view the launch, scheduled for 4:33. And this from Kennedy Space Center. Florida's coronavirus death toll stands at 2,259. Another 7 deaths were reported yesterday. President Trump suggests he may move the upcoming Republican National Convention out of North Carolina. The president is frustrated by strict coronavirus rules in Charlotte that could limit the convention in August. Governor DeSantis says Florida is ready to step up.
Love to have the RNC. Heck, I'm a Republican. It would be good for us to have the DNC in terms of the economic impact.
DeSantis says there are several Florida cities that would welcome the economic boost, including Tampa, Miami, Orlando, and Jacksonville. Governor Ron DeSantis plans to appeal a ruling regarding ex-felons. On Sunday, a federal judge decided they should be able to vote without paying all fines and fees. The 2020 Atlantic hurricane season starting next week, Floridians can soon get storm-related supplies tax-free. The tax holiday from this Friday through next Thursday, no taxes will be charged for items like flashlights, batteries, coolers, radios, and generators. And a tropical disturbance in the Bahamas that has been soaking southeast Florida with torrential rains is heading north and bringing heavy rains and blustery winds up the coast as it takes aim on Georgia and the Carolinas. And lastly, 2 South Floridians are tapped to sit on the bench at the state Supreme Court. Governor Ron DeSantis appointing Renatha Francis, a Palm Beach County Circuit judge, who is the first Caribbean American to sit on the bench, and Miami attorney John Coriel to the seats being vacated by former Justices Barbara Lagoa and Robert Luck, who were appointed to the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Coriel is the son of Cuban immigrants.
I am grateful to the people of the state of Florida who welcomed my parents to our country 60 years ago when they and their parents sought justice, a better life, and most of all, freedom.
Coriel is 42, Francis is 43. Both justices could potentially shape the decisions in the state for decades to come. Major League Baseball drew the ire of the Players Union Tuesday with an economic proposal that called for a significant cut in salaries that would affect all players, and particularly the game's highest paid. Players immediately bristled at the proposal, which includes an 82-game schedule that would begin in early July after a 21-day spring training. Teams would play 3 exhibition games in the final week before starting a regular season that would finish September 27. The Major League Baseball Players Association is expected to reject the plan and counter in the coming days with a proposal that could include a longer season, according to sources. News Time 6:24, and weather and traffic together will be next.
$6:25, the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's now time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we don't see any traffic accidents to report for this early Wednesday morning. Everything is looking smooth on the Treasure Coast right now. There's your latest look at traffic. Port St. Lucie, a humid 73 too in Stewart. And here's more on our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with a little patchy fog and some very isolated rainfall possible. Then this afternoon, partly sunny, hot, and humid with highs around 90 degrees and the heat index around 100 degrees with breezy southeasterly winds. Scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop and move from west to east. Any thunderstorm that develops could be strong and some rainfall will be heavy. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Well, you can tell by the way I wash my hands. Corona-free, won't take no chance. Toilet paper, latex gloves, I've been ready for this since I was born. And now it's alright, it's okay. You may look the other way. You can try to understand the coronavirus effect on man. Whether your brother, whether your mother, you're staying inside, staying inside. Feel the city breaking and everybody shaking. We're staying inside, staying inside. Ha, 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 staying inside, staying inside. Ha, 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 staying inside.
6:30 on the Get Up and Go show, and I'd like to know where they found people to sing that high. I mean, that's pretty. I don't know how they did that.
That sounded pretty close to the actual Bee Gees, didn't it, Evan? I thought it
Yeah.
was kind of on the close side.
It was pretty close.
Better than others I have heard. Of course, that one about the hand washing with the Beatles, that one sounded, I think, the most like what was true to artist.
I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I want to wash your hands. You better wash your hands.
Oh, was that it?
I think so.
This one right here.
Wash your hands.
No.
Do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands.
Oh, this is the parody of Baby Shark.
Do-do-do-do-do. Wash your hands.
I thought that was it.
Grab some soap. Do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap. Do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap. Do-do-do-do-do. Grab some soap. Rub your hands. Do-do-do-do-do. Rub your hands.
I like that one.
That's
I like
cute.
that one. I'm trying to find the one that you're talking about. I know I have it in here somewhere.
I think it's I said I want to wash your hands. I think it's more like you better wash your hands.
Let me see here. Kung Flu. I've been easy. Let's see here. Quarantine since you've been gone.
While you're looking for that, remember
Yeah.
I was talking about the B&A flea market earlier?
Yes.
The shop where they sell like maybe appliance items back on the wall and
Right. Oh, I found it, by the way. I
as
did find it.
seen on TV. I think
Yeah.
it's called the Crystal Palace, if
Oh,
I'm not mistaken.
Okay. So I found the song we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Oh yeah, you might have something. I hope you'll understand. Let's not do the dumb thing. Don't wanna shake your hand.
Yeah.
Don't wanna shake your hand. Now go and wash those hands.
Yeah, I like that. That was pretty cool, huh?
It's cool, and
That sounded just like them.
they do. They sound like the Beatles right there.
Yeah.
Whoever did that parody, they did great.
Yeah, got to, hands off and give them a round of applause for that one. They did a great job. Yeah, without a doubt. Yes.
Yeah.
Want to welcome Fredo and the Shy Guys. They are here today, but Fredo is not with us. Fredo's off tending to some business. He's got to get the tag renewed for his car, has to get his new insurance and some other things. So he called me last night and said, hey boss, can I have the morning off? I'll make sure that the guys are there. And I said, sure, no problem at all. In fact, the band is here. They'll be playing a little bit later on today, as a matter of fact. Oh, there they go now. Look at that. Like right on cue. They're playing. There's the Shy Guys. Boy, right on cue. Without Fredo, as soon as you hear me, they hear me talking about them, they just crank right up, Bonnie.
Yeah. And they're playing a happy tune.
Yeah. I don't know what song this is, but they're just cranking along. I mean, maybe Fredo will call in on the phone and let us know what's going on. Anything is possible.
Yeah, but I'm glad the band members, they can do it. They can get by without Fredo.
Yeah.
Better to have them in, but
Right.
very sounding good. There's like a a list of the 10 happiest songs of all time, Evan.
Really?
And any guess at, well, actually, you would never guess this in a blue moon.
In a blue moon?
of what the happiest song on their
Happy by
list.
Pharrell. Is that in there?
You know, that should be, because I think I actually heard you playing that this morning when I walked in. And am I wrong? Did I hear that
no,
one?
no, I was listening to some other stuff.
So this is, according to a survey of 1,300 people,
Okay.
the happiest song of all time. And number one on the list is Mr. Blue Sky by
What?
ELO.
That's a classic.
It's a classic, but
Okay.
would you consider it the happiest of all time?
No.
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 No, definitely not. Definitely not.
My happy song, I think my happiest of all time is the one by Pilot, right around that
Oh, it's
era.
Magic?
Magic.
Yeah, I like that song.
Yeah.
My happy songs are what I currently listen to from my church, all my worship music.
Oh, yeah.
I love stuff from Elevation Worship, Hillsong Worship, Casting Crowns is another great group.
Mhm.
There's just so many. Phil Wickham comes to mind. There's so many good Christian artists that are out there.
That's all happy.
Yeah, it's really happy stuff.
And let me just talk about the top 5. The rest of the happy songs of all time were
All right.
number 2, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Okay.
Staying Alive by the Bee Gees.
All right.
You
good.
just played that.
Very good.
Dancing Queen by ABBA.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That made
kind
all
of gets you in a good mood.
that made all of the young girls cheerful and happy. Yes.
Okay.
And Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi.
Yeah, Mr. Hare himself. Yeah,
And I like me some Afternoon Delight too.
I'm sure you do.
By the by the Starland Vocal
The
Band.
Starland Vocal Band.
That song has always made me cheerful and happy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I had the that little guitar at the beginning, or something like that. I don't remember what kind of I think it's a mandolin they're playing or something
Oh,
like
I think
that.
you're right. Yeah.
Something of that sort.
And you can definitely hear the fireworks right in the song.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I could have sworn I heard fireworks already last night. Did you in your neighborhood?
No.
I heard
Maybe somebody was shooting off a gun where you live.
I don't think it was good. I think it was some sort of fireworks already.
Oh, okay.
And then the neighbors next door were having a huge party.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it's all right.
All right.
I mean, I like to see people in a happy spirit.
Okay.
But my neighborhood was hopping last night. Did you feel this in yours? It felt like I had to think about, wait, is it Tuesday? Is it Saturday? It sounded like it was a Saturday night in my neighborhood.
My neighborhood was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Which is the way I like it.
Mine not. They were having that party. There were
Loud music.
kids out riding bikes. Yeah, it was
Okay.
loud, but I don't
They have
mind.
a DJ?
No,
Okay.
no. But
Okay.
yeah, it was just like the whole neighborhood was wide and awake last night.
Okay.
Must have been something in
All
the
right.
breeze.
All right. It's time for a segment that we do each and every weekday at this time called Viral Videos, where we talk about some videos that are on the internet going viral. And this one is a couple of burglars in Australia were chased out of a 78-year-old woman's house. You want to know what chased them?
Maybe like a big mean bear or something that they cut loose.
How about a little tiny Maltese dog? Security video
Really?
shows them entering through the door, and then seconds later, they come running out with the little pup in hot pursuit.
They ran away from a little Maltese.
Yeah, here they are. You can hear them going in. There's one of them right there on video, and they're walking, and the guy's got a shirt over his head, but it's not covering his face. So that's stupidity at its best. Okay, they're gonna go in the house. They're entering the house as we speak. It's like play-by-play for radio. That's why they call radio theater of the mind. They're in the house, and there's the dog, and they run. And you'll see there's the little white dog. Just ran right out. Little white dog. Scared the bejesus out of them.
I wonder if maybe because they're afraid, like the dog
Yep.
is barking, they're making noise.
Mhm.
Did they think that these people were not home?
I don't know.
I mean, that's weird.
I don't know. I know that if my dog were to have our house broken into, you okay over there? Should have fall out of your chair.
chair's
Bonnie, your chair's
breaking.
cockeyed.
It's
What'd you do to your chair? Bonnie, you broke the wheel off the chair.
It is.
Wow.
I'm
Be
gonna-
careful there. Your chair's all cockeyed now.
I'll have to sit on this side.
Yeah, please do.
to balance.
We don't have insurance to cover that if you get hurt.
I don't think Greg and Carol have
Don't
insurance
say
to cover
no,
me.
don't say that.
To cover me.
No. I don't know. Be careful.
I'm not the suing kind of
No,
lady, though.
neither am I. Don't want to have to call 911 when they say 911, how can we help you? Yeah, my co-host fell out of her chair. The commercials, remember them? I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Ugh.
you'd be one of those. An Amazon driver in Idaho paused to pray on a family's porch after reading a sign they posted about their baby. The child has a condition that puts him at high risk of contracting the coronavirus. When the family saw the clip on their doorbell cam, they posted it on Facebook, hoping to find the driver. They did, and she told them she's been praying for their baby ever since. Let's watch right here.
You can see what an adorable 8-month-old Lucas Pearson is. What you can't see is the cardiovascular anomaly that puts the Idaho child at risk for COVID.
I just wish they understood, how scared we are.
Raquel and Derek Pearson are doing everything to protect their son, including ordering in his supplies, thanking the delivery people who risk their lives to make Lucas's possible. But through a doorbell camera, they saw driver Monica Salinas do something more.
I saw her do this sign of the cross. Oh my gosh, she's praying. It's been really hard for us to get through this.
Salinas says she just listened to her heart.
Just pray that they can make it, through another day.
The Pearsons posted the video on Facebook, generating hosannas of praise for Salinas.
That makes me happy. God can touch people like that.
Sometimes the most powerful messages need no words. Ann Thompson, NBC News.
There you go. Wow, that was amazing, wasn't that?
Yeah, heartwarming story.
The girl just stopped in her tracks, prayed at the doorstep for the baby, and then she did the top to bottom, left to right, the cross symbol.
Yeah.
And wow, amazing. I got chills watching that.
And she took a moment out of her busy schedule to do that.
Yeah.
You've been a delivery driver before, I'm sure. And, usually when you're delivery driving, you're on a mission to get the goods there and, get that day done and just go, keep on the move. And she took a moment to pray on that porch for that little boy.
Yeah. Here's another video that has a sound where we guess the sound of what's in the video. So I'm going to play it, Bonnie. And then, of course, I'm going to see if you can guess the sound. So here it is right here. I think I need a new set of eardrums on that one. So it's either A, pet pig crashing into a pyramid of empty beer cans, B, a frat boy sliding out of a garbage chute and into a recycling bin, or C, a porch pirate tricked by a package that's connected to a string of empty cans. What do you think it is?
The porch pirate being
I
connected
agree
to
with
that
you.
package.
110%.
Yeah. Of course, it could have been any kind of cans. It sounds like me putting my recyclables into my big green recyclable bin and the pouring out of cans and bottles and whatnot.
Porch pirates really aggravate me. They do. I don't like that when that's done.
No, I don't either. And, fortunately, I can say that we've never been a victim of it.
No.
But it's kind of like, you ever be like driving home, like say you're coming on I-95 or you're driving from north or from the south, you got to get home and it's like a rush there because your packages are being delivered. And
yes.
You got to get home to see if they're there.
See, here's the thing. If you come to my house, you're on camera. The minute you turn that corner, I've got like 12 cameras in my home. So every angle is covered. So if you dare to come on my property, you're getting filmed. We'll make a motion picture out of you and we will put you on the internet.
Will your camera go like all across the street too to help out the neighbors?
Yeah.
Or do they have to get their own camera?
I'll show you a screenshot here, Bonnie. This is, in fact, it's logging in now. So these are different angles of the cameras in my home.
That's pretty good.
So I can literally cover everything. But then again, cameras also have a funny side to things because One day it was raining outside, and my son Gavin, okay, decided that he was going to run down the driveway, okay, and get in his friend's car, and it was wet out. So watch what happens as he gets to the car. Bam.
Oh, he slipped right in there.
Right?
He almost slipped right underneath. And
Yep.
you know, your boy is skinny enough. You know, he's on the slender side.
Yeah, he's thin.
He could have
yes.
slid right under there,
Yep,
Evan.
Yep.
Oh
yep.
my word.
Yep. That just kind of gives you a little idea as far as that goes. And here's another one of the lady delivering a pizza in a storm.
Yeah, it was raining
It
that
was
night.
literally pouring that night, and it's still no contact. So she's doing her job properly by putting the pizza at the door. She knocks on the door. She takes cover, stands out in the rain until we get the pizza, and she apologizes for that, and then comes back and gets the little platform, and there she goes off into the monsoon.
Yeah, isn't that
So
something?
yeah, it's amazing what you can grab on camera.
I remember delivering pizza. I used to be a pizza delivery driver, and the worst was the conditions where you get the snow and it starts snowing, and you had to get those pizzas delivered through a snowstorm
I
sometime.
couldn't be a pizza delivery driver. I could not do that because the pizza would never, ever, ever make it to its destination. It just wouldn't. There's just no way it would get there in time. 6:45 on a Wednesday. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Today's launch by SpaceX and NASA will make history, but it's also about the future of human spaceflight.
On the line, SpaceX is launching humans for the first time, and NASA wants to stop launching people into low Earth orbit, letting the private sector do it if they can.
Remember, this is a test flight. The highest priority is to test the vehicle and get it home safely, and then be prepared to launch Crew 1.
NASA's Jim Bridenstine says the agency has invested more than $3 billion to launch a commercial spaceflight industry. That way, they can focus on flying to the moon and ultimately Mars. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Weather is 60% go for the launch, scheduled for 4:33 p.m. Eastern Time. You can hear live coverage on many of these FNN stations. NASA is urging Floridians to stay home for this afternoon's manned launch by SpaceX.
And this is a unique opportunity to bring all of America together in one moment in time and say, look at how bright the future is.
The head of NASA insists there's no launch fever and promises he'll stop Wednesday's SpaceX launch, even if it disappoints big crowds, including President Trump.
If you want me to stop this thing for any reason, say so. I will stop it in a heartbeat if you want me to. They both came back and they said, we're go for launch.
Jim Bridenstine says only a handful of NASA astronauts will be at the Kennedy Space Center to watch the crew blast off because of coronavirus concerns. Astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken will be the first humans to launch aboard a Falcon 9 rocket on a mission to the International Space Station. The heavy rain over the past few days has left behind flooded roads and severe damage in some spots. WPTV's Ryan Hughes spoke with neighbors that say it's the worst flooding they've seen in a long time.
Southeast Sandcastle Circle in Hope Sound is still a street underwater with pumps running at full speed across Bob Brandstatter's front yard.
This is as deep and as high as I've seen it come.
Bob has lived here for 38 years. He spent Tuesday cleaning up after the road in his neighborhood flooded after Monday's torrential and unrelenting rain, sending water dangerously close to his home.
It just kept rising. This whole driveway was underwater.
Hope Sound is saturated. Some areas receiving upwards of 10 inches of rain in the last 3 days, and lightning and downpours returned for another round on Tuesday.
We got very, very lucky. I feel very, very blessed that we didn't suffer any damage like anybody else did.
Dylan Mann not taking any chances, setting up sandbags in his backyard.
We haven't really had a chance to use them up until now, and we set a couple out on our back patio door to kind of just keep the water from coming in.
These neighbors are now waiting for the water to recede, and Bob is thankful he did not have any serious damage.
I was very thankful. It would have been the first time. I mean, you know, that's That's how crazy it was.
And the Medalist Golf Club in Hope Sound, which recently hosted Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Phil Mickelson for a charity match, also suffered severe damage from the rain. It was closed on Tuesday and will also be closed on Wednesday. In Hope Sound, Ryan Hughes, back to you.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman announced the league's return to play plan Tuesday. Speaking to reporters, Bettman confirmed the regular season has been deemed complete and only 24 teams will return to action in a modified playoff format with no training camps to start before July 1st. Bettman noted the return plan designates 2 cities as central hubs for the postseason. Teams will only be allowed to have a maximum of 50 people in a hub city. News time is 6:49. Weather and traffic together are next.
$6:50 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
On the roadways on a Wednesday morning, everything is looking fine traffic-wise. Martin County and St. Lucie County, no accidents, no slowdowns to report. There's your latest look at traffic. It's 73 in Port St. Lucie. In Palm City, it's also 73. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with a little patchy fog and some very isolated rainfall possible. Then this afternoon, partly sunny, hot, and humid with highs around 90 degrees and the heat index around 100 degrees with breezy southeasterly winds. Scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop and move from west to east. Any thunderstorm that develops could be strong and some rainfall will be heavy. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Welcome back to America's Not So Talented. Let's meet Sheila.
Well, I live in Anadarko, Oklahoma. I'm a stay-at-home mom, single mother of 8, and I cook a lot. While I was cooking one time, I started making some noises with the whisk and the spoon, pan, and the pot lid. And one of my kids, I don't remember which one, said, "Mama, that sounds like a song."
And here she is performing Louie Louie. Here's Sheila with her one-woman pots and pan band.
Wait, can I get a redo?
Oh, Sheila, it's one and done.
Give me another chance.
Stay tuned for more America's Not So Talented.
Please don't send me back to Oklahoma.
Get off the stage, Sheila.
Have you ever watched the show America's Got Talent?
Yeah, but it's been a really long time, Evan, and I know there's a new one out now. And it did it just start last night?
Yeah,
or?
it aired last night, and there was a guy that was on there last night, and it was pretty emotional. The guy had been incarcerated. I'm trying to find the audio from it. The guy had been incarcerated for like 36, 37 years. And he had gotten out recently, and he was wrongly convicted is what happened.
So 37 years for a crime he didn't commit.
37 years for a crime he didn't commit. Okay, here's the video. And here's a little snippet of it from last night when he walks out on stage.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Let's start with your name, please, sir.
My name is Archie Williams.
Then where are you from, Archie?
I'm from Louisiana.
Louisiana. Right, let's get to know you first of all, Archie, a little bit.
Okay.
It's very emotional for him.
Mm-hmm.
Very.
I was just incarcerated for 37 years for somebody else's crime.
Oh.
Yeah.
DNA freed me.
wow.
Yeah. And he just got out. I just got chills listening to that. And then this is him singing last night, a little bit of him singing. He did Elton John's "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me." And what a great song that he picked.
Don't let the sun go down on me.
I was like in tears watching this.
Although I search myself, there's always someone else I see. I'm just another fraction of your life to wander free.
He's the hands-on favorite to win this year already.
I'm sure he is.
But losing everything is like the sun going down on me.
Is that amazing?
I like his version of it too.
Right?
You know,
Elton John even chimed in on Twitter.
It's funny because the classic is embedded in my brain
Ooh,
with Elton
look at
John's
that.
voice.
I got goosebumps.
And I think he did the song well. I think
He nailed it.
certainly, yeah. And what did Elton have to say about him on
Just
Twitter?
Elton was like, Elton said something about he is his new number one fan, and that he did the song better than Elton did, literally.
You know, I thought it was pretty darn good. That's for sure.
Yeah, he
And,
took the house down last night.
Yeah, and you know, good for him. 37 years, a crime he didn't commit.
Yeah.
Now the sun should
Redemption.
finally shine on him.
Redemption. And he said that while he was in prison, he watched America's Got Talent and he dreamed about being on that stage, and he finally made it to the big stage. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Here comes the news. We'll be right back. Now, what website are you on?
On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
If you're staying at home because of COVID-19, you may be trying to eat healthier, including lots of vegetables and greens. Unfortunately, those are the very foods that cause bad gas. So when you do venture out in public, you wind up walking around in a cloud of your own stench. Until now. Introducing the new gas mask. The extra long straps wrap securely around your waist and tie in the front, leaving the specially designed triple filtered material directly over the danger zone, your backside. Now, when you go shopping, I didn't know this store had a floral department. The new gas mask. In great sense, like flower boutique, incense den, or new car.
And the band played on this morning. Band's kind of got a little bit of a groove to them this morning, huh?
They're grooving up. They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a message for you from Thomas in Connecticut.
Oh, what's the message?
He said, quote, "Tell polka dots I said hello."
Yeah, I'm wearing my smaller polka dot wear today.
Thomas, if you want to call into the program and tell her hello yourself, you're more than welcome to 772-220-9788, 220-9788. All you got to do is pick up that phone and give us a call, and you can talk to Bonnie right on the air.
And
See,
hello,
it's that simple.
Hello, Thomas in Connecticut.
Yes.
Thank you for listening and watching.
One of our great fans watching this morning on the internet on our Facebook page. Social media is amazing, isn't it?
Watching while I fall off this chair.
Yeah, be careful. Did you fix the chair while we were on the news?
I did. I forgot to fix
Why don't you put the wheel back in the chair?
I will. I'll do it. I'll do it as soon as we get out of this
Get
segment.
back on the wheels. It's like driving a car with three tires.
It's making the morning kind of exciting. It's almost like I'm on it's almost like I'm back at a theme park on a wild ride or something. 'Cause
Yeah,
I feel
well,
like this is going to fall any minute.
Please don't do that. Don't fall.
No.
Wow. Be careful how you move around there, because if you lean one way or the other, you'll be like Humpty Dumpty and you'll fall.
I could fall into this microphone and chip a tooth.
Oh, no, don't do that. Then we'd have to call a dentist in.
Yeah.
We'd have to definitely call a dentist in without a doubt, Bonnie.
News on the radio. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Time for birthdays, anniversaries, and back in the day. And what day is it? Notice I added another day in there.
Yeah.
What day is it?
May 27, and I guess the SpaceX NASA launch, and everybody is getting excited for
Yeah,
it.
definitely so. Do you have anybody you want to wish a happy birthday to?
Nobody on the birthday list, however, Evan.
Okay, all right. Lily Rose Depp, 21. That's Johnny Depp's daughter. 21 years old.
John, it's hard to believe
Johnny Depp's kid.
Johnny Depp would have a daughter that's 21.
Yeah.
And, well, now, of course, I just have to Google search her just to see just how pretty she is.
See what she looks like?
Johnny Depp's daughter and all.
Right?
She's probably very pretty and all.
Exactly.
Has she been in anything? Any films?
Don't know.
Her film work?
Chris Coulter, 30 years old. That's he was Kurt on My Hero and Glee. Ben Feldman is 40. That's Jonah from Superstore. Shanola Hampton, 43. That's Veronica Fisher on Shameless. Andre 3000, 45. That's Outcast. He's with Outcast. Jamie Oliver, 45 years old today. Jack McBrayer, 47. Paul Bethany is 49. He's Vision in the Avengers movies.
Oh, okay.
Joseph Fiennes, 50. He's Commander Waterford in Hulu's The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah, I'm sure I almost, I don't watch The Handmaid's Tale, but
Okay.
I almost bet that he plays an evil character in that one. He's like, I think he's Ralph Fiennes' brother. Yeah, and I almost bet the character he portrays is kind of dark in The Handmaid's Tale. What do you have?
Thomas just commented on Facebook. He said, "Somebody please get Bonnie a helmet."
That is funny.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's good stuff. Thomas, man, call into the show. We'd love to chat with you.
Do you
Todd
have a-
Bridges is 55 from Different Strokes.
Do you have a baseball helmet you can bring me, like from
I
the
will.
ballpark?
I'm gonna bring a helmet tomorrow for you, and you can wear the helmet during the podcast.
Maybe
Remember, you wore that. That green hat is up there in the corner. Maybe that would suffice. Be careful with your headphones. Don't go too far because you'll hang yourself. See it over there in the corner? Yeah, put that on. There you go. Now you're knocking stuff all over the place. Just kind of pull it through the hole or something like that. Be careful. There it is. Come on, Bonnie. There we go. All right. Bonnie's going to put a helmet on there. Okay, there's the helmet. Okay. All right, so Thomas, now Bonnie is safe. She is wearing a helmet.
Now I have my
Okay?
headgear.
She has her headgear on so she won't get any Dane damage.
Like the Green Goblin here or
there
something.
you go. That actually looks good on you. I like that. Adam Carolla is 56 years old today. Pearl Gilpin is 59. That's Roz on Frasier. Neil Finn, 62 from Crowded House. Eric Bischoff, the only man ever to scare Vince McMahon from the WWE. He's 65 years old today.
Oh.
Richard Schiff, 65. Also Dr. Glassman on The Good Doctor. Louis Gossett Jr. is 84. That's Fiddler in The Roots. Lee Merriweather is 85. Henry Kissinger, former Secretary of State under Nixon and Ford. He is 97 years old today.
Is he really
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
Yeah. How about Lisa Left Eye Lopes from TLC? She would have been 49 years old today.
Oh, yeah.
She would have been 49,
we
celebrating
lost her.
Birthdays in the Heavens. Christopher Lee. That's Saruman in the Lord of the Rings series. And the Sinister Laugh himself, Mr. Vincent Price, celebrating a birthday in the heavens as well.
Yeah, he was so classic in like Michael Jackson's Thriller video.
Yeah, that
and-
sinister laugh. I'm actually liking that headgear on you this morning. I'm really liking it. It's kind of cute.
And I think one of the other ones I remember Vincent Price was from the classic. There was like a classic on the Brady Bunch where they went to Hawaii and then they went into these caves and they fell upon the gold or the silver of Vincent Price. And then Vincent Price was the scary guy in the cave in that show, and he came out to scare them away.
You ever heard Vincent Price read stories? They're pretty eerie.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what today is, Bonnie?
Today-
Go ahead.
I don't know.
Any idea?
It's like a national food holiday or
No, yesterday was National Paper Airplane Day.
Right.
Okay, so today is National Sunscreen Day. National Sunscreen Day. That means that everybody has to put sunscreen on,
I know.
no matter where you are.
You should actually wear it even, I hear, like if it's overcast and the sun
Really?
isn't peeking through, because
Okay.
the sun in Florida too can get so hot that it comes right through the clouds. Even when you're driving in your car, and you have that window slit open a little bit.
Okay.
You should always have that sunscreen there around your face and that delicate eye area.
I think it should also be National Take a Wheel Off a Chair Day.
Or National Fix a Wheel on a
Right,
Chair
National
Day.
Fix a Wheel on a Chair Day, or National Green Hat Day.
Yeah.
Or something of that sort.
I gotta find that wheel and fix
It's
that
down
one.
there on the floor somewhere. I saw it rolling around. Get it? Because a wheel rolls, so it's rolling around. Just be careful. Don't kill yourself, whatever you do. Don't kill yourself, Bonnie. There's the wheel.
Sometimes life is like a wheel.
Yeah, there's the wheel, because you just go in circles, round and round and round and round.
Oh.
So don't kill yourself, whatever you do. All right. 25 days until Father's Day. That's going to be a very good holiday. I'm looking forward to Father's Day.
It is, and I'm going to have to do something special for Gary, and you should do something special for your dad.
Yeah. Hi, you're on the morning show with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Hi, this is the guy who likes polka dots.
Oh, it's Thomas in Connecticut.
Hi, Thomas.
How are you two?
Oh, we're fine and
We're
dandy.
good. Do you see Bonnie is wearing a helmet now? Do you notice that on Facebook?
Yeah, I want to know, does that helmet come with a Guinness Stout?
Oh, a Guinness Stout, right?
It just should, right?
It should.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Just
mean-
put a beer stein up to it and out comes beer, you know?
Yeah. Who says that you can't celebrate St. Patrick's Day every single day of the year?
Well, I try to. I try to celebrate whenever I can.
Yeah, I see you on Facebook in some of those pictures, and you're out there at the beach and just enjoying all of that South Carolina beach line.
Yeah.
shore.
How was your 700-mile trek, by the way?
Oh my gosh! You know what? People are crazy on the highways these days.
Okay.
My partner Deborah and I came home over the last 2 days. We broke up the trip half and half.
Oh, thank God you didn't say you broke up.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
I thought you were going to say that for a second.
No threat of that.
All right. That's a good thing.
But the day is early, so.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
So anyway, we broke up the trip into 2 days, and you get up to highway speed, and the speed limit is 65, and you're touching 70 or above.
Yeah, you're like an 80-mile-an-hour kind of guy.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not. No. Once I get over 70, Deborah starts to elbow me in the in the ribs.
Okay. All right.
And so, but you know what? Even going along at 70 miles an hour, there are people whizzing past you.
Yeah. And then you gotta always look for the police if they've pulled someone over, and then pull over in an opposite lane for them, because there are fines in different states that people aren't even aware of. I have a gentleman that was a client at Massage, and he and his wife have been traveling. It might have been the South Carolina area. So he didn't, pull over on the interstate for that police officer, and he got up right behind him and came back with a hefty $500 fine.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an expensive trip.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to really got to look at, kind of like the rules.
So you're back in Connecticut now. What's the weather like up there in Connecticut?
You know what? It was a little humid yesterday. And
Okay.
Around, what do you think, Deb? 80 here yesterday?
Oh, your significant other is there in the background?
Yeah,
I was
stopped
starting
at,
to wonder because we've never heard from her on the radio before, and I was starting to wonder if you're making this person up to us.
No, she's a little radio shy, but it's
Oh.
okay.
We have to break her in.
She just held her hand up and ran away through the kitchen.
Oh my gosh! What does she think? She's going to catch a disease from the phone?
Yes. It's a radio virus.
Yeah, radio virus. Well, that's better than the coronavirus, that's for sure.
No,
Anyway,
you got that right.
hey, listen, be safe up there in Connecticut. Thank you so much for calling in. And, anytime you want to call in and participate in the program, feel free to do so. If you've got you can put your 2 cents in, 3 cents, or 4 cents, whatever you want to do. Pick on Bonnie, pick on me, you and me, whatever you want to do. We love when you call in.
All right. Really good to see you guys. And to Bonnie, nice hat.
You and yours have a nice day. Okay, thank you.
All right, take care now. Wow, he really likes that hat.
Yeah.
You might want to keep that hat on.
I know. I just have to take.
If you take your headphones and back like that,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
then you put it on,
Have
and
to
then
hear my news cues.
you can put your earphones over your ears sideways,
Yeah.
and there you go.
I look really good and goofy.
Right? No, not goofy. That's somebody up in Disney World, for gosh sakes. 7:21. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk where the little leprechaun is standing by with the news. Take it away, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And today's launch by SpaceX and NASA will make history, but it's also about the future of human space flight.
There's a lot on the line. SpaceX is launching humans for the first time, and NASA wants to stop launching people into low Earth orbit, letting the private sector do it if they can.
Remember, this is a test flight. The highest priority is to test the vehicle. and get it home safely, and then be prepared to launch Crew 1.
NASA's Jim Bridenstine says the agency has invested more than $3 billion to launch a commercial spaceflight industry. That way, they can focus on flying to the moon and ultimately Mars. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Weather is 60% go for the launch, scheduled for 4:33 this afternoon, and you can hear live coverage on many of these FNN stations. NASA is urging Floridians to stay home for this afternoon's manned launch by SpaceX.
And this is a unique opportunity to bring all of America together in one moment in time and say, look at how bright the future is.
The head of NASA insists there's no launch fever and promises he'll stop Wednesday's SpaceX launch, even if it disappoints big crowds, including President Trump.
If you want me to stop this thing for any reason, say so. I will stop it in a heartbeat if you want me to. They both came back and they said, we're go for launch.
Jim Bridenstine says only a handful of NASA astronauts will be at the Kennedy Space Center to watch the crew blast off because of coronavirus concerns. Astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken will be the first humans to launch aboard a Falcon 9 rocket on a mission to the International Space Station. The heavy rain over the past few days has left behind flooded roads and severe damage in some spots. WPTV's Ryan Hughes spoke with neighbors that say it's the worst flooding they've seen in a long time.
Southeast Sandcastle Circle in Hope Sound is still a street underwater with pumps running at full speed across Bob Brandstadter's front yard.
This is as deep and as high as I've seen it come.
Bob has lived here for 38 years. He spent Tuesday cleaning up after the road in his neighborhood flooded after Monday's torrential and unrelenting rain, sending water dangerously close to his home.
It just kept rising. This whole driveway was underwater.
Hope Sound is saturated. Some areas receiving upwards of 10 inches of rain in the last 3 days, and lightning and downpours returned for another round on Tuesday.
We got very, very lucky. I feel very, very blessed that we didn't suffer any damage like anybody else did.
Dylan Mann not taking any chances, setting up sandbags in his backyard.
We haven't really had a chance to use them up until now, and we set a couple out on our back patio door to kind of just keep the water from coming in.
These neighbors are now waiting for the water to recede, and Bob is thankful he did not have any serious damage.
I was very thankful. It would have been the first time. I mean, you know, that's how crazy it was.
And the Medalist Golf Club in Hope Sound, which recently hosted Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Phil Mickelson for a charity match, also suffered severe damage from the rain. It was closed on Tuesday and will also be closed on Wednesday. In Hope Sound, Ryan Hughes, back to you.
And lastly, the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season starting next week. Floridians can soon get storm-related supplies tax-free. The tax holiday from this Friday through next Thursday, with no taxes being charged for items like flashlights, batteries, coolers, radios, and generators. With movie theaters shut down and sporting events on hiatus because of the coronavirus pandemic, the Miami Dolphins are bringing the best of both worlds to South Florida. The team announced plans Tuesday to create 2 outdoor movie theaters at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. One will be an open-air theater outside the team's home stadium, while the other will be a drive-in theater inside the stadium that can accommodate up to 230 vehicles. And according to a news release, the theaters will showcase classic Miami Dolphins content from the team's 54-year history, classic motion picture films, host commencement ceremonies, and other events. News Time 7:25, weather and traffic together are next.
7:26 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And in Stewart right now on I-95 northbound at mile marker 100, just before Canner Highway, look for some debris in the center lane. There's large tire debris hanging out in that center lane. Use caution. No accidents to report. There's your latest look at traffic. Stewart right now, 73 degrees. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with a little patchy fog and some very isolated rainfall possible. Then this afternoon, partly sunny, hot and humid with highs around 90 degrees and the heat index around 100 degrees with breezy southeasterly winds. Scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop and move from west to east. Any thunderstorm that develops could be strong and some rainfall will be heavy. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
When no one told you life was gonna be this way, your job's remote, your home reunion got delayed. It's like you're always stuck in quarantine, and it could be another 18 months before they find a vaccine. So I'll stay far from you, 6 feet or more. I'll stay far from you. If I see you at the store, I'll stay far from you. Stay away from me too.
7:30 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie, and we've officially turned the radio station into a repair shop.
Yeah.
Bonnie is doing repairs on the fly.
Doing chair repair.
She has her chair upside down in the back behind her, and she was attempting to put the wheel in the chair, and then she gets in another chair, and then she's riding in a low rider. Yeah. And she couldn't get her chair to go up high, and it looked like you were sitting on the ground for a moment.
I got to compare I have to compare the little wheels on the chair, the wheel to the other
Got to make sure
wheels.
it's right.
Yeah.
Does it look okay?
It looks, I'm not trusting it yet.
No? Maybe a little super glue.
That's what it might need.
Little super glue.
Yeah, I think do we have any here?
No.
I might have some at home.
No, little super glue. But then again, if you super glue it, it's not going to move. So we can't do that.
It's not going to swivel.
No, it won't swivel.
And move around.
No, it won't swivel because you have to swivel in your job with what you do.
You have to swivel, but you can't fall down.
No. What do they say? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
That's right.
Bonnie has to swivel, and if she doesn't swivel, then she could face plant. We don't want no face planting is allowed in studio. Definitely not.
Now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
Well, here we go. You know, when the music starts with this song, it's going to be stupid. Let's go to Peru, where the mayor of a small town in Peru managed to make international headlines after police caught him lying in a wooden casket in an attempt to fool them into thinking he was dead after breaking curfew to go drinking on a long night.
He's playing a possum, right?
Yeah, he was playing dead.
Yeah.
Because they have the curfew for coronavirus. So he didn't want to get caught, so he found a casket and he laid in there and pretended to be dead.
So did they catch him? Did they see him breathe at all, or see him open one eye and give it all away?
I don't know.
I wonder if he got caught.
I don't know. This next one is, I don't know if I want to call this stupid or I don't know, but I'm going to read the headlines. A Florida mom isn't ashamed to say she still gives her baby girl a bath. Okay? Except her daughter is 20 years old. Okay? Mary, who's 55, appeared on TLC's reality TV show Smothered. Now, I've been in contact with her because I want to have her on as a guest. Okay? She admits to showering her daughter Brittany every single morning. The mom and daughter live together right here in Jensen Beach, Florida.
Do they really?
Yes.
And they're on that new show called Smothered.
And with no plans to move out anytime soon, Brittany said joint showers are the best way to start the day. Mary said she's been bathing her daughter since Brittany was 5, and in her opinion, there's not a damn thing wrong with it.
You know, that's a little bit too close for me there, Evan. I mean, I like to be close with my mom, and I was close with my mom, but some things are a little bit too close for comfort.
They say that she says she's not doubting mom. I don't believe I said to have a relationship this close with Brittany. It's something that was supposed to be, she told the TV show executives. Brittany said it's a consensual decision to wash together. When my mom does simple things like washing my hair or my body, it makes me feel comforted.
The only thing I would want to do with my mom washing together is the dishes.
Yeah.
We wash the dishes together.
That's a little different. But I am in the works to get her on the program and do an interview with her.
Okay.
And I want to get more information on this.
And I have to give that new show Smothered a chance.
Okay.
I've been seeing it advertised here and there.
Okay.
Promoed.
Okay.
So we'll have to watch this one with the gals for right from our very own Jensen Beach.
The show aired the other day, so you'll have to go on the website and watch the rerun. You can find it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it's quite interesting.
I bet they go swimming together too. Now that
that's different than showering.
The
There's nothing wrong with going swimming together.
I know.
Okay, or in the beach together in the ocean, but having your mom shower you when you're in your 20s?
That's different. And you know, when you first brought up the story too, Evan, I didn't want to say anything because I thought of right away, okay, so the daughter could be 20, but maybe she is paraplegic or something and she needs help bathing.
And that's understandable.
Yeah.
That's nothing wrong with that. But when you have a perfectly healthy daughter,
she's perfectly healthy,
a perfectly healthy mom, I'm like, there's a situation there.
You know what though? Something tells me about this show. This probably is not going to be the weirdest topic on there.
No.
I bet there's going to be something even more weirder.
No, I'm going to have to go into my DVR today and set it up to record so I can watch it every week.
Yeah.
and then have more material to talk about in stupid news.
Now I definitely want to take a look.
Yeah, it's called Smothered.
Wow.
A woman has been filmed stripping off her underwear to use as a face mask after being told she will not be served until she's wearing a face covering. Now, the video shows a woman approaching the counter at a store without a mask on. She starts talking to the worker before gesturing to somebody outside. The woman then takes the unusual step of pulling down her leggings, then taking her underwear off in full view of everybody.
Oh, yikes.
She then casually places them around her face and then continues to talk to the woman behind the counter about her business.
Is there any shame anymore?
No.
I mean, some people.
I mean, the rules in this particular place, you had to have a mask on. You know, it's like you walk into a restaurant, no shirt, no shoes, or no shirt, no service.
Yeah.
Well, no mask, no service. So the woman slides her underwear off and puts it over her face. Hope she wasn't wearing them for a couple of days.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she didn't have time to run home and find herself a hanky chip or
a hanky chip,
a hanky or something, you know,
I
she could
guess
make.
not. I guess she figured her underwear would do just as well.
Would this do?
Right? That would work, but you'd smother yourself. Now, I went to a pool store the other
that show
day.
called Smothered.
Right? I went to a pool store a week or two ago, and they had a sign on their window that said no admittance without a mask. So I did not have a mask in my car. So I called into the pool store and I asked them if I could take my t-shirt and place it over my face and my mouth and nose. Would I be allowed to come in and purchase what I need? And they said, you sure would. That's perfectly fine as long as your nose and mouth are covered.
Walking into a pool store, you might already want to wear a mask no matter what anyway, because of the smell of the chlorine and the chemicals.
Yeah. Wait, did you say chemicals? Boy, you're doing good today.
Feeling silly today.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I know what I'm going to get you for Christmas now. Not going to tell you what it is. It'll be a surprise.
Something chemical?
No, yes, chemical and musical. A suspected DUI driver spent the latter half of his Memorial Day weekend in a very stinky situation after crashing into a liquid manure storage pond in Sacramento, California.
Ooh, wow.
CHP, otherwise known as California Highway Patrol, said the driver called the dispatch department at about 1:30 in the morning asking for help after crashing into what was at the time an unknown source at a dairy farm. The guy had no idea what he ran into. He just thought it was a body of water. And then when he finally got out and he started to smell, I guess he smelt something not too good.
It was a manure pond.
A
wasn't
manure
it?
pond.
And, you know, Evan, I'm seeing the picture of this deal, and this is a huge, like, sludge, like a lagoon.
We're not talking a canal. We're talking like a lake.
It's a lake full.
Like Lake Okeechobee.
And he's pulling a little trailer in back of his SUV.
Yeah.
And that thing is right nose smuck in there.
Yeah. They also say that he said that he thought he pooped his own pants, but he didn't because it was the manure of the lake.
Yeah. Even if he did, how could you tell?
Right?
It's swarming by everywhere.
Right?
He could get away with that.
That'd be a pretty crappy situation.
He is smothered with it.
Yeah, he's smothered in crap.
It's our word of the day. Smothered.
Excuse me. Go to a Waffle House. I'd like my home fries smothered, please. Be afraid to say that word. They may have heard the show and do something we don't want.
We are finding all kinds of usage for that word, aren't we?
Yeah, smothered. Oof. First, the mom smothers the daughter. Then the guy's smothered in poop. What next?
Could you imagine though if your SUV is nose first in there and having to swim out in that to save yourself?
Ooh.
I mean,
be a stinky situation.
and you're supposed to take a deep breath, like as your car is going down, okay, in the liquid, and
smudge,
not freak out. You know, you're supposed to not panic.
Yeah, you're supposed to roll your windows
and
down.
roll that window down.
Yeah, but unfortunately, all the cars today, they've got electric windows.
Yeah.
So you better have one of those punches in your car.
So it should be easy. It should be easy to, but if I was in that situation where my car was going down in lake, river, sludge pond full of manure, I would hopefully, think of that situation and would I panic? Would I be able to breathe and do what I had to do to get myself out of there?
I have one of those punches in my car that sits in my center console in a little cup. And all I have to do is put it up against the window, press the button, and the whole glass cracks.
No kidding.
Yes.
Oh, that is cool.
Yes.
Talk about technology.
Best $10 ever spent.
$10.
And on the other side of it, it has a tool that if you're wearing a seatbelt, it has a tool that has a razor blade in it. You just slide the seatbelt in it and you go like this.
Yeah.
And it'll cut the seatbelt right off of you.
No kidding.
Yes.
I bet it has like the coolest airbags too, punching out at you. Probably the safest.
Well, I don't know what kind of airbags are in my car, but
you've never had to find out, fortunately.
No,
and,
I don't want to. Let's go to Macon, Georgia, where a former teacher at a Christian school has been charged with solicitation of sodomy. Sodomy? Am I saying it right? Is it sodomy?
Yes.
Basically, it's called prostitution. After claiming that he was in a hotel room because two black men had kidnapped him. Okay, this is the story he concocted. Christopher Keys, 56, was arrested by police after they investigated a rumor about a carjacking and kidnapping at a CVS last week. Now, the rumor stemmed from a Facebook post since deleted, which alleged that Keys was at the CVS last week when two black males quickly jumped into his vehicle and put a gun to his head. It then claimed that Keys, a former teacher at the private Christian school, was driven to a nearby motel where the men robbed him, stealing his cell phone and $70. But police say that rather than kidnapped and taken to the motel against his will, Keys was at the Regency Inn to meet a prostitute instead.
And you don't make up stories like that.
Yeah.
That's those when people make up stories like that, that's some of the lowest form.
Yep.
It kind of reminds me of that back in the late 80s. Who was it with? Was her name Susan Smith?
Oh, yes, I remember her.
The gal that drove her two young.
She drove her two kids.
Yeah, and then blamed it on a black man coming to do it.
Yeah, kind of like deja vu all over again with that lady in Miami that had the autistic kid and that killed her autistic kid, where she made that story up about getting robbed. Here we go, Susan Smith all over again.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Was that the story that I saw yesterday about the woman that first tried to take her autistic child and drown them in the canal?
Right. And
to do it.
And did it a second time.
An hour later.
Right.
And
I found the video of the first time.
Yeah.
And it's heart-wrenching.
That story broke my heart.
Yeah,
too.
it's gut-wrenching to watch that story. To see what that woman did, how a woman can take her child and try to kill her own flesh and blood.
What kind of monster does that sort of thing?
I don't know, but man, I hope she gets what she deserves.
Yeah,
that's all I gotta say. She needs to. I don't know.
I know.
Death penalty is what I'm thinking.
I feel bad.
That was terrible. 7:45 right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. And today's launch by SpaceX and NASA will make history, but it's also about the future of human spaceflight.
There's a lot on the line. SpaceX is launching humans for the first time, and NASA wants to stop launching people into low Earth orbit, letting the private sector do it if they can.
Remember, this is a test flight. The highest priority is to test the vehicle. and get it home safely, and then be prepared to launch Crew 1.
NASA's Jim Bridenstine says the agency has invested more than $3 billion to launch a commercial spaceflight industry. That way, they can focus on flying to the moon and ultimately Mars. I'm Rory O'Neill.
The heavy rain over the past few days has left behind flooded roads and severe damage in some spots. WPTV's Ryan Hughes spoke with neighbors that say it's the worst flooding they've seen in a long time.
Southeast Sandcastle Circle in Hope Sound is still a street underwater with pumps running at full speed. Across Bob Brandstadter's front yard.
This is as deep and as high as I've seen it come.
Bob has lived here for 38 years. He spent Tuesday cleaning up after the road in his neighborhood flooded after Monday's torrential and unrelenting rain, sending water dangerously close to his home.
It just kept rising. This whole driveway was underwater.
Hope Sound is saturated. Some areas receiving upwards of 10 inches of rain in the last 3 days, and lightning and downpours returned for another round on Tuesday.
We got very, very lucky. I feel very, very blessed that we didn't suffer any damage like anybody else did.
Dylan Mann not taking any chances, setting up sandbags in his backyard.
We haven't really had a chance to use them up until now, and we set a couple out on our back patio door to kind of just keep the water from coming in.
These neighbors are now waiting for the water to recede, and Bob is thankful he did not have any serious damage.
I was very thankful. It would have been the first time. I mean, that's how crazy it was.
And the Medalist Golf Club in Hope Sound, which recently hosted Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Phil Mickelson for a charity match, also suffered severe damage from the rain. It was closed on Tuesday and will also be closed on Wednesday. In Hope Sound, Ryan Hughes, back to you.
2 South Floridians are tapped to sit on the bench at the state Supreme Court. Governor Ron DeSantis appointing Renatha Francis, a Palm Beach County Circuit judge, who is the first Caribbean American to sit on the bench, and Miami attorney John Coriel to the seats being vacated by former Justices Barbara Lagoa and Robert Luck, who were appointed to the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Coriel is the son of Cuban immigrants.
I am grateful to the people of the state of Florida who welcomed my parents to our country 60 years ago when they and their parents sought justice, a better life, and most of all, freedom.
Coriel is 42, Francis is 43. Both justices could potentially shape decisions in the state for decades to come. And now this. Major League Baseball drew the ire of the Players Union Tuesday with an economic proposal that called for a significant cut in salaries that would affect all players and particularly the game's highest paid. Players immediately bristled at the proposal, which includes an 82-game schedule that would begin in early July. After a 21-day spring training, teams would play 3 exhibition games in the final week before starting a regular season that would finish September 27. The Major League Baseball Players Association is expected to reject the plan and counter in the coming days with a proposal that could include a longer season, according to sources. And news time is 7:50. Weather and traffic together are next.
7:51 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Not seeing any accidents to report right now. Just when you're on I-95 northbound in Stewart this morning, right around mile 100, there's a large tire debris in the center lane. Use caution in that area. There's your latest look at traffic. Port St. Lucie has 75. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with a little patchy fog and some very isolated rainfall possible. Then this afternoon, partly sunny, hot and humid with highs around 90 degrees and the heat index around 100 degrees with breezy southeasterly winds. Scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop and move from west to east. Any thunderstorm that develops could be strong and some rainfall will be heavy. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Turn on the radio.
What's today?
It's Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. On your feet. This is not the time nor the place for sleep. You have a show to do. I could do it on my sleep. Sounds like you already have.
We think our show is good.
That's what you were thinking.
Everybody else.
Not so much.
But you're all right. Okay, thanks for the pep talk.
Thanks for the pep talk.
That's what I'm here for.
Well said. So let's get this show started.
Let's get the show started. Little do people know that the show started almost 2 hours ago. 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was like starting a party. We were just ready to rock and roll in the morning.
You know, last night, right before I was ready to go to bed at about 5 minutes to 8, I took my dog out back and it was bright as daylight. I couldn't understand why.
I remember that daylight coming out, like you say, Evan, because I went out to look for my cat. Kitty had run outside, so I was calling for him, and all of a sudden it got like really bright out. All of a sudden, it was supposed to be like getting dark, I thought.
Usually by 8 o'clock it's dark out, but last night for some reason, I actually saw the sun setting over the house, and it was weird. Like all of a sudden, it's like we instantly got an extra half hour of daylight yesterday.
Yeah, and did the sun glow too, like in your windows shine and make your home all...
I have a north-south. I'm sorry. I have a east-west exposure to the sun. So my bedroom windows face north. Okay, so I don't get the sun in my windows. Plus, I have those darkening curtains in our bedroom.
Oh, cool.
So it can even be daylight outside, and I'll still have a dark room to sleep in.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But it was just really weird. I went out back last night, and it was dark. It was light out at like 8 o'clock. I'm like, what the heck's going on? And I had to look at my watch, and I'm like, in fact, it was like literally 12 hours ago to the minute. I looked at my watch, and it said 7:58 p.m. Looked at my phone, said 7:58 p.m., and I was checking all the other clocks to make sure that everything was right.
Yeah, it was strange.
And, yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, I know that my living room windows too, they face to the west. So we were watching TV too last night, and all of a sudden, was that sun rising or was it going down in the west? Because it was like bright and full of energy, like you said.
It was very strange. It definitely was extremely very, very strange. Oh, there's the band right on cue to take us into the news.
Yeah.
You know, Fredo's not here. He's out getting his license renewed and his insurance and taking care of some personal business. So the Shy Guys are in the green room and they're playing away like always. Doing a great job.
Nice and smooth.
Yes, very, very smooth.
And putting me in a better mood because you just reminded me that my insurance is due in June.
Excellent. We're station. Coming up next, Taryn Krizda, Martin County Administrator. Don't go anywhere.
the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 on the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on a Wednesday, way back Wednesday, Wicked Wednesday, Wet Wednesday, whatever you want to call it. It's Wednesday. And I am on the right day of the week, right, Bonnie?
Yes, and way to go Wednesday, like we called it earlier.
Just want to make sure. Because Taryn Chrisda's here,
Yeah.
Martin County Administrator, for Wednesday. What do you want to call today,
I just
Taryn?
refer to as Hump Day.
Hump Day. I like that. She's a cool Martin County Administrator.
Very cool, yes.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Maybe we should invite her to play around a 5-second rule with us one day at the end of the show to see how she does.
Uh-oh.
That would be kind of cool. You ever watch the Ellen DeGeneres show by any chance?
Every once in a while, yeah.
She plays a game on there called 5-Second Rule. It's very cool, and we actually I bought the game on Amazon, and I give you a topic, and then you have like 5 seconds to give me 3 things. And it's very challenging, believe it or not.
He's Evan, the game show host.
Yeah, I'm the game show host. You know.
Well, anytime you put somebody on the spot, it makes it scrambles your mind, I think.
Oh, it
to some
does.
extent. Yeah,
It does. We have a lot
For
of
those
fun with
us
it.
that are more methodical in our thought process.
Yeah, definitely so. Don't want to get too far off track, Taryn. So first and foremost, what's the latest going on in Martin County?
Well, we're still, we finished our pop-up testing as of Saturday.
Okay.
So we were back out in Indiantown Friday at Big Mountain Park and then on Saturday at Booker Park. And so we were successful in being able to test a little over 200 more people out there. We think we've gotten about 25% of the population in Indiantown has been tested. So that's assuring, but at the same time, it's made our unfortunately, because of that positivity rate out there being as high as it is, it's made our numbers seem way out of whack, if you will, compared to our surrounding, to the north of us at least, St. Lucie and Indian River, because we've got over 500 cases now. And, but it's, again, going into this, the health department was their goal was to get to at least 2% of our population, and they've managed to double that. So we've gotten over 4% of our population has been tested. Our negative results are over almost 6,500, and we're at a positivity rate of about 7.6%. So, but our hospitalization is the availability is at 64%. So our hospitals, even though we do have a high rate of cases that have been determined, our hospitalization is relatively low. So we continue to monitor those numbers, make sure that we're doing what we need to. The health department, their focus is going to shift a little bit now. They're going to start focusing on the short-term recovery units, where you might go for rehab or something like that after you've had some surgery, and then the long-term facilities as well. So they did the assisted living. Now they're going to try to hit all those other facilities where individuals are having a stay of more than, a day or two. So we will be shifting. There is testing still available. Cleveland Clinic will continue to do testing, but they're looking for folks who have who may be symptomatic or have been exposed. So just need to, if somebody really feels like they need to be tested, then they can go there and get that done.
Okay, so you don't have to have symptoms. Anybody can now go and get tested, correct?
From what I understand from Cleveland Clinic, yes. When Mr. Lord was here at our last meeting, he said that if anybody wants to be tested, they can be tested. And so they have the drive-through testing that they're doing still at North and out at Tradition. South Hospital, they're keeping they're not keeping cases in that facility. They don't need to. They can better isolate the individuals at North with the way that their structure is with their floors. They have many more floors to be able to segregate patients. And so South, they're pretty much maintaining that as a COVID-free, if you will, facility for individuals that are having those elective surgeries, may need an overnight stay. Those kinds of things are
Right.
taken out of South.
Right. Now, you did mention, and a lot of people noticed that the numbers in Martin County, they like literally skyrocketed all of a sudden. But the reason for that is because of more testing and more results.
Yes, absolutely. We've probably we did over 3,000 tests with these pop-ups. So those were extremely successful, getting out into these neighborhoods and making the tests available between drive-through or walk-up. So when you think about, 3,000 people going through that was amazing, almost 3,200 total.
Wow.
So, going into this, like I said, 2% was the goal, and that's why the pop-up testing started. But we also had a feeling that we might have a hot spot in a couple of areas. And so this helped us to identify those specifics and start targeting those individuals with messaging, self-quarantine, social distancing, wearing masks, getting them some food and supplies so that they can self-quarantine, trying to isolate and contain that situation as best we can.
I was watching the news last night, and I had to rewind it just because I wanted to be double sure of what I saw. And they said that Palm Beach County had no new deaths to report over the last day or so.
Well, that's positive.
I don't know if you caught that or not.
No, I focus more on, where we are. We did have another death last week, which was unfortunate. So we're at 9.
Mm-hmm.
But, and when you look at that, 9 is too many. But unfortunately, majority of those individuals had health issues that already were being compromised.
And I was just going to ask you that because, these deaths, let's say, we have, you have 9. Are these deaths truly 100% because of COVID, or was COVID attributed to it and they had underlying circumstances? This is where the line, I know you're not a doctor. I know you can't you can't, tell us those things, but if COVID is one of the reasons, then they need to, divulge that to our listening audience, that the people that did pass away, that they could have had diabetes, they could have already had pneumonia, they could have a heart disease or something, and then they caught COVID while they were where they were, and that was one of the reasons, but not the main reason.
You're exactly right, Evan. Unfortunately, once you're diagnosed or you test positive for COVID, should you have conditions that come to your demise, then they automatically attribute it to the COVID virus, when in fact it possibly could not have been the COVID virus. It was just another factor, if you will, to the individual's health condition. So what we were seeing was individuals already had complications of some sort, and they contracted the virus, and it didn't help. But at the same time, it wasn't the final factor, if you will, attributed to their death.
So those 9 deaths may not have really truly been attributed to COVID-19 when you think about it.
Correct. They just happened to test positive.
Yeah, it was just kind of it's coincidental. And the same thing with all the other deaths around the country. Probably half of the deaths weren't even truly due to COVID-19, but because COVID-19 was involved, they say it was COVID-19 is what killed them.
Yeah, it's just the way that they do their reporting, which is unfortunate. But at the same time, with HIPAA and all the other restrictions that we have relative to individuals' health issues, we can't really dig into it, unfortunately. So I think, like I said, it's unfortunate, but it's part of the way that they do their reporting. But you're absolutely right. If somebody's been exposed and they test positive, regardless of what their health issues were leading up to that point, it gets put into the coronavirus bucket. So that's kind of where we are. So we do have those 9 deaths here in Martin County, and hopefully we won't have any more. I'm glad to hear what you said about Palm Beach County not having any. That's positive, I think, given the situation where Palm Beach is starting to ease some of their restrictions as we have. I think, we will possibly see a little bit more of cases coming forward. We'll have to see. Summer camps, the governor has issued his ruling on league play for sports. I think that's positive. I know you're very involved with the
the
league.
Mets.
And I think it's good for the kids. I think the more we can get our children back into some sense of normal activities, the better.
Yeah, the camps are full blown on.
Oh yeah.
I know Martin County is going to have their camps going.
Yep. We've rolled out everything. We're ready. We're also working on a plan to get approved by the state for our the Sailfish Splash water park, so that we can open that during the summer and make that available for individuals to go to and have some fun there. So we're doing everything we need to. We got our vacation rentals approved by the state, so we have a plan for that. That's on our website as well.
Good.
So if somebody's looking to bring family here and they want to rent a place for a few days, there's a process for that, and there's a limitation as far as where you can come from. You do have to register your guests and put where their zip codes are, so that the state can monitor where we have an influx of individuals coming from. So there's a few things like that are going to be a little bit more cumbersome, but at the same time, it's to keep our residents and everybody, safer, if you will, and just more cognizant of what's going on in our surroundings.
Speaking of the summer camps, I know that my wife works at a private school. I'm not going to mention which school it is, but she works there as a school teacher. And during the school year, she teaches, I think it's second or third grade. I'm not sure. She's probably going to kill me for not knowing what grade she teaches. Yeah. But they were, she was telling me they're gearing up for summer camp. And the way they're doing their summer camp specifically is each, they've got like a bunch of kids registered for summer camp this year, and the way they're going to be doing their summer camp guidelines is no more than 10 kids per teacher to keep the social distancing and to keep the kids straight, and they're going to stay with the one counselor all day long.
Oh wow, well that's interesting.
And only 5 kids at a time can go out and pick out the pine cones. Pick up the pine cones. Isn't that what you do at summer camp?
No. Summer camp, you usually you do activities like go bowling, or you go swimming, or you go out and play kickball. Or
I know. I was just trying to pull a funny
pine cones.
Pine cones.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, because we were out at John Dickinson State Park. That's like a camp out there, and there were pine cones laying on the ground, like all over the place.
I guess. I mean, you could decorate pine cones and, make, I guess, arts and crafts, right, Taryn?
Yep, you can do a lot with that.
Something of that sort.
Yeah. You can tell Bonnie was focused on that.
Definitely so.
At least I'm focused on something.
No, that's all right. You're focused on a lot of things all the time. Taryn, how are things with the health and everything in the main office where you guys are? Everything's good?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're looking at next week being, can you believe it, May is going to be over, and we'll be having June 1st on Monday. We're looking at starting to bring our employees back, slowly, gradually. We've had all of our departments provide us with a plan to start getting back to full operation. Our building, and at that point, we will open up our building for the public. We would suggest that you still make appointments as needed.
Okay.
The libraries are working on, as soon as we can get these shields, they're looking for sneeze shields and things like that, so that when they have clients coming in and, that our employees are protected to some extent. We're also trying to get some special coverings for the keyboards, for the computers that can be wiped down, things like that. And we will restrict how long an individual can actually stay in the library. So we're looking at opening up our libraries here in the next few weeks. and we're slowly getting back there. So it's all good.
All right, very good. It's Martin County Administrator Taryn Krista. She joins us each and every Wednesday in the 8 o'clock hour to give us an update what's happening in Martin County, the beaches, and all things Martin County. Taryn, God bless you, your family, and your extended family there at the county offices.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you real soon. Have a great day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. 8:22 is the time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Today's launch by SpaceX and NASA will make history, but it's also about the future of human spaceflight.
Is launching humans for the first time, and NASA wants to stop launching people into low Earth orbit, letting the private sector do it if they can.
Remember, this is a test flight. The highest priority is to test the vehicle and get it home safely, and then be prepared to launch Crew 1.
NASA's Jim Bridenstine says the agency has invested more than $3 billion to launch a commercial spaceflight industry. That way, they can focus on flying to the moon and ultimately Mars. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Weather is 60% go for the launch, scheduled for 4:33 this afternoon, and you can hear live coverage on many of these FNN stations. The heavy rain over the past few days has left behind flooded roads and severe damage in some spots. WPTV's Ryan Hughes spoke with neighbors that say it's the worst flooding they've seen in a long time.
Southeast Sandcastle Circle in Hope Sound is still a street underwater with pumps running at full speed. Across Bob Brandstadter's front yard.
This is as deep and as high as I've seen it come.
Bob has lived here for 38 years. He spent Tuesday cleaning up after the road in his neighborhood flooded after Monday's torrential and unrelenting rain, sending water dangerously close to his home.
It just kept rising. This whole driveway was underwater.
Hope Sound is saturated. Some areas receiving upwards of 10 inches of rain in the last 3 days, and lightning and downpours returned for another round on Tuesday.
We got very, very lucky. I feel very, very blessed that we didn't suffer any damage like anybody else did.
Dylan Mann not taking any chances, setting up sandbags in his backyard.
We haven't really had a chance to use them up until now, and we set a couple out on our back patio door to kind of just keep the water from coming in.
These neighbors are now waiting for the water to recede, and Bob is thankful he did not have any serious damage.
I was very thankful. It would have been the first time. I mean, that's how crazy it was.
And the Medalist Golf Club in Hope Sound, which recently hosted Tiger Woods, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Phil Mickelson for a charity match, also suffered severe damage from the rain. It was closed on Tuesday and will also be closed on Wednesday. In Hope Sound, Ryan Hughes, back to you.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman announced the league's return-to-play plan Tuesday. Speaking to reporters, Bettman confirmed the regular season has been deemed complete and only 24 teams will return to action in a modified playoff format with no training camps to start before July 1st. Bettman noted the return plan designates 2 cities as central hubs for the postseason, and teams will only be allowed to have a maximum of 50 people in a hub city. News time is 8:25, and weather and traffic together are next.
8:27 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And right now on I-95 southbound in Port St. Lucie, right around mile marker 115, there's some tire debris in the roadway. Once again, this is southbound before Becker Road, and look for it. Use caution. There's your latest look at traffic. Stewart, right now, a partly sunny sky at 75, and here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with a little patchy fog and some very isolated rainfall possible. Then this afternoon, partly sunny, hot and humid with highs around 90 degrees and the heat index around 100 degrees with breezy southeasterly winds. Scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop and move from west to east. Any thunderstorm that develops could be strong and some rainfall will be heavy. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:31 the time right now on the Get Up and Go show. And it's time to head out to another place in outer space where two gentlemen are going to be in a matter of hours. And it's been a long time since this has happened from the Cape, right, Randy?
Yes, sir. 2011 was the last time Americans were launched from American soil.
Wow. I'm sure you got lots to talk about this morning, so let's get right into it.
Okay, let's start out with a little bit of space history. Back in 2009, the Russians launched a Soyuz vehicle on TMA-15, and it had 3 astronauts on board. Roman Romanenko was the second-generation space flyer. Before him, his father flew on the Russian space program. Robert Thirsk became the first Canadian to fly on a Soyuz. All previous Canadians that have flown flew aboard the space shuttle. And Frank DeWine became the first European to be commander of the International Space Station. They spent 6 months in space and returned safely. I'll tell you, I've met Bob Thirsk many times, and what a gentleman. Smart, unassuming. He doesn't think too much of himself, and he was quite a good person to go on that mission. And yes, everything is in the ready for the launch this morning or this afternoon at 4:33 from Launch Complex 39A at the Kennedy Space Center. That's when Americans will launch, hopefully, if the weather cooperates, their first rocket carrying humans into space since the space shuttle retired in 2011. The United States has been paying Russia roughly $89 million per seat to fly on a Soyuz vehicle. In this particular case, the two astronauts, Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, are ready to fly. They're seasoned space veterans. They're married to astronauts, and they've been good friends for many, many years since they both came into the astronaut corps at the same time. The hope is that they will dock with the International Space Station on Thursday at 11:39 a.m. They'll dock to the forward docking module of the Harmony module, and they will spend about 2.5 hours getting ready to open the hatches. They've got to be sure that all of the vibrations have dampened out before the hatches are open, and that all the hooks and latches are secured before they enter the space station. When they get there, they will expand the space station crew to 5. The current members on the station are Chris Cassidy, Ivan Wagner, and Anatoly Ivanushin. They will be ready to go to help the astronauts as they first reach the space station. The other day, the HTV-9, that's the Japanese transfer vehicle carrying food and fuel and supplies and experiments, arrived at the International Space Station, and the crew spent a whole lot of time maneuvering the equipment out of that vehicle. They are hopeful that they'll be able to continue what they were doing, and that it'll be the final mission of an expendable Japanese HTV until late July. That's when Japan is hoping to send its next version of a resupply mission, the HTV-X, to the station, but in this case it will have a recoverable and reusable cargo module. So they're hopeful they'll be able to do it. Anatoly Ivanushin swapped out more fuel bottles inside the combustion integration rack to maintain research operations inside the U.S. Destiny Laboratory module. The refrigerator-sized research rack enables fuel, flame, and soot research on the station. When you talk about pop and circumstance, you're looking at a lot of really interesting things that will happen in the coming days. When the astronauts arrive on board the space station, Doug Hurley will be retrieving a flag. Yep, it's a special flag that was left on the ISS on the last space shuttle mission. And what was interesting is that Hurley was on that last mission. So he is going to bring back the flag that has been on the International Space Station, waiting for the launch from American soil to take place. Kind of fitting that he left the flag there and that he will now be retrieving it. The weather is calling for a 40% chance of violation. And one of the most interesting parts of all is that if they have to stand down today, they cannot launch again until the 30th. That's when the International Space Station will be in phase with the Kennedy Space Center, allowing the mission to take place in its current form. And on the 30th, there's only a 30% chance of weather violation. As we said about pomp and circumstance, the president and the vice president will both be at the Kennedy Space Center for this launch. And Grammy Award winner Kelly Clarkson will be performing the national anthem prior to launch. We're also going to learn today what the two astronauts have named their spacecraft. Up until this time, we have no idea what the actual name will be. Speculations have run rampant, but we'll see whether it actually comes into fruition. And what's really interesting to some of you, and it was to me, is that there's a new space toilet that's on board the vehicle. Yep, the Dragon spacecraft has a new waste removal system. And that system has been upgraded, which will make it easy for the astronauts to use a toilet on board the system without having to use a bag for their excrement. So one more time, we'll have a new test of a new toilet in space. The vehicles that capture the first stage are getting ready to go out of the port, where they will leave Port Canaveral and take up a position to hopefully recover the first stage. Of Course I Still Love You is hoping that they can catch that first stage when they're able to. Russia and the United States are still working on resolving problems and questions as to when the first Russian will fly on an American spacecraft. The Russians have said that they do not want to fly on a spacecraft until they know that it's going to be safe for humans to actually fly. So as a result, they have not signed on yet to go to the International Space Station on an American vehicle. Since the new Dragon can carry up to 7 people to the International Space Station, we would think that in the not too distant future, we're going to see more launches taking place with Russians on board from an American vehicle. Currently, the Russians will only use their Soyuz vehicle to go into orbit. And the United States, as a backup, has already booked another seat on a Soyuz vehicle later this year to go into space. So a lot happens with that. The detective aboard NASA's Perseverance rover, which is on Mars, has been getting back a lot of interesting data. They're starting to see that the electromagnetic field around Mars has been disturbed, and they think that that may have been one of the causes for the loss of an atmosphere around the red planet. The instrument called Sherlock, with the help of its partner Watson, will hunt for signals of ancient life by detecting organic molecules and minerals. I find it interesting because Sherlock is an instrument on the end of the rover's robotic arm, which will hunt for grain-sized clues in the Martian rocks while working in tandem with Watson, which is a camera that will take close-up pictures of rock textures. Together, they'll study rock surfaces, mapping out the presence of certain minerals and organic molecules, which are carbon-based buildings for life on Earth. Tomorrow, we hope to tell you about a very successful launch and what the astronauts are doing in space. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
That's the latest space report from Randy Siegel. He joins us each and every day at this time to give us the latest and greatest. I can't wait to hear his report tomorrow. It's going to be really, really exciting. And speaking of exciting, let's go to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with the latest and greatest and delicacies at the deli. Bonnie?
That's right, Evan. And midweek, you might be wondering what to do tonight for dinner. Well, they have dinner platters for pickup for 2 people, priced just right for you at Ellie's Deli. You can get dinners like a home-style meatloaf to take home with veggies, mashed potatoes, and gravy. Make it a 4-cheese lasagna tonight with a side salad. Maybe chicken pot pie is your flavor. Pick up a chicken pot pie with side salad and to take home from Ellie's Deli. And, you know, if you're thinking of lunch, come on over and enjoy their chicken bacon ranch wrap, a wrap of your choice filled with a roasted chicken, cheddar cheese, bacon, lettuce, tomato, some of that ranch dressing, and red onion to make it so yummy. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart now has their patio back open, plus their 50% dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous desserts as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're located at 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado Avenue in Stuart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
It's time for the Precious Metals Report, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,701 an ounce. Silver at $17 an ounce. It's time for news right now. Let's go to the news desk. We're Bonnie. The headlines. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning to you, Evan. And today's launch by SpaceX and NASA will make history, but it's also about the future of human spaceflight.
On the line, SpaceX is launching humans for the first time, and NASA wants to stop launching people into low Earth orbit, letting the private sector do it if they can.
Remember, this is a test flight. The highest priority is to test the vehicle and get it home safely, and then be prepared to launch Crew 1.
NASA Bridenstine says the agency has invested more than $3 billion to launch a commercial spaceflight industry. That way, they can focus on flying to the moon and ultimately Mars. I'm Rory O'Neill.
Weather is 60% go for the launch, scheduled for 4:33 today, and you can hear live coverage on many of these FNN stations. President Trump suggests he may move the upcoming Republican National Convention out of North Carolina. The president is frustrated by strict coronavirus rules in Charlotte that could limit the convention in August. Governor DeSantis says Florida is ready to step up.
Florida would love to have the RNC. Heck, I'm a Republican. It would be good for us to have the DNC in terms of the economic impact.
DeSantis says there are several Florida cities that would welcome the economic boost, including Tampa, Miami, Orlando, and Jacksonville. The 2020 Atlantic hurricane season starting next week. Floridians can soon get storm-related supplies tax-free. The tax holiday from this Friday through next Thursday, with no taxes being charged for items like flashlights, batteries, coolers, radios, and generators. Lastly, while leading health officials agree that wearing a mask can protect others from being infected by the coronavirus, President Donald Trump and his likely Democratic rival Joe Biden are now actively engaged in a political debate over mask wearing. On Tuesday, during a White House briefing, Trump requested a reporter remove their mask when asking a question. When the reporter refused, Trump said the reporter was being politically correct. Earlier in the day, Trump retweeted a photo from Fox News personality Brit Hume mocking Biden's appearance for wearing a mask at a Memorial Day commemoration in Delaware. Biden's public appearance was his first in nearly 2 months. Biden changed his avatar on Twitter to his now infamous masked appearance. Trump said he wasn't criticizing Biden, but didn't find it necessary. And Major League Baseball drew the ire of Players Union Tuesday with an economic proposal that called for a significant cut in salaries that would affect all players, and particularly the game's highest paid. Players immediately bristled at the proposal, which includes an 82-game schedule that would begin in early June after a 21-day spring training. Teams would play 3 exhibition games in the final week before starting a regular season that would finish September 27. The Major League Baseball Players Association expected to reject the plan and counter in the coming days with a proposal that could include a longer season, according to sources. News time is 8:47, and weather and traffic together will be next.
.48 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
And it's a nice ride right now on the Treasure Coast throughout US 1, north and south, and also the major highways are clear. No debris out there, no accidents or slowdowns. There's your latest look at traffic. We are up to 80 degrees in Stewart, and here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with a little patchy fog and some very isolated rainfall possible. Then this afternoon, partly sunny, hot and humid with highs around 90 degrees and the heat index around 100 degrees with breezy southeasterly winds. Scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop and move from west to east. Any thunderstorm that develops could be strong and some rainfall will be heavy. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
And now today's episode of The Married Couple.
Hey,
Yeah.
I was thinking, during all this alone time, if you need your own space, maybe you could put up a sign.
A sign?
Yeah, like a sign on the bedroom door, like if you need some privacy. That way, I'd leave you alone until it's down.
Yeah. Let me figure out what hour a day I'd take it down.
Join us next time for The Married Couple.
Yeah, the married couple. Speaking of married couples, the old man down the road's on the line with us. Not with his wife Edna, because Edna is usually cooking victuals around this time. Good morning, old man. How you doing?
Good morning, dear Evan. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. You know, how's it going with you?
I'm just out here fishing.
You're fishing? You're out by the water fishing right now?
Yeah, want to make some fish dinner tonight.
Oh, okay. What kind of fish do you catch where you at?
Oh, good old catfish.
Oh, Bonnie, you like catfish?
It depends. I had some catfish one time down south in Louisiana.
Okay.
And I thought it was the worst thing I ever had.
Really?
But then I maybe it was just the restaurant that I was at. And
Okay.
then I had it years later where I got me some catfish out of the deli at one of these fine grocery places.
Okay.
And it was seasoned just right. So
okay.
then later I had the catfish there and thought it was all right. I don't know about lake catfish right
Okay.
out of the lakes in Kentucky. I can't say that I've ever had it fresh there.
Okay. I don't know. Old man, you're over at the you're staying at the in the camper at the Smoky Mountains, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We're at a small little creek, and out there way in the Smoky Mountains, and it's beautiful up here. And hold on a second, I got me a catfish. Hold on, I'm going to bring this thing in.
All right, we'll reel it in.
I got a nice, good size one.
Okay, very
Reminds me
good.
of a good Southern song where the catfish are jumping and that's
Maybe Edna can make catfish and eggs for breakfast.
Oh, it's gonna be some catfish and some cornbread. Oh yeah.
smoked catfish dip.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Can you do that for us, old man? Can you bring some of that down here?
When are you going to be down this way, as a matter of fact? Anytime soon?
Well, I'm thinking about coming down there maybe in July, maybe.
Oh, okay. All right. That's a ways away. How are you and Edna faring during all this COVID-19 stuff that's going on?
Well, we're basically keeping away from everybody.
Okay.
And it's, this is a great spot up here,
Mm-hmm.
where you don't have a lot of people all around you. But,
Right. You have the comforts of home in your camper, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You got your fishing poles and your food, and the most important thing is you've got moonshine with you.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Glorious.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, the old man down the road, he loves his moonshine.
And I remember like up in the Smoky Mountains driving around up in that area and seeing a lot of beautiful horses out in the fields.
I don't know if the old man can get on a horse though.
We weren't
You'd
able
be surprised there, buddy.
Oh, okay.
we weren't able to get on one, but I remember feeding a couple of them apples, which was a lot of fun. They like their apples.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we got quite a few bears roaming around here today too.
Wow.
So,
Whoa.
and you get up to this one spot. It's in the Smoky Mountains. It's called Klingman's Dome. It's about 6,400 feet in the air, and you're above the clouds. It's
That's over
really
a mile high.
beautiful.
That's like you're in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Are you able to see like 4 different states too at that spot, like you are able to at Lookout Mountain up there in Chattanooga?
Yeah, you can see right at the top of the Klingman's Dome there. There's a big area you can look out and look far as you can see.
Yeah, I remember going out down in the caves too in those areas. I think we were down in a cave, what was called Ruby Falls.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Chattanooga.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
But I remember the caves were walking through there. You felt a little bit claustrophobic because you get these two caves that are almost together, like really tight. You got to be like a skinny mini to go through there and make it, and you felt a little bit wedged in.
There's a place in Mammoth Cave they call Fat Man's Misery. You got to get on
Fat
your
Man's
knees and
Misery?
crawl.
What is Fat
Yes.
Man's Misery?
Well, that's it. That's part of the cave where you have to get on your knees and crawl, go through a spot. Sometimes we got to grease up old women.
Kind of push them on through, right?
Well, you would probably have to grease up me because I'm getting a little bit loafy in the midline
you're
area.
not loafy in the midline. Don't knock on yourself there, for God's
Grease
sake.
me too.
Come on.
I just have Gary just give one little big push with his foot.
Oh!
Oh!
Wow.
Kick her right through there.
Give her a kick in the, as they say it in Irish, the arse. Wow.
Right turn, Clyde.
All right, there you go. Well, listen, old man, thank you so much for calling in. I greatly appreciate you as always, and we will talk to you real soon. And as always,
Have a good day, Bonnie and Devin.
all right,
Have a good day.
say goodnight, old
Very
man.
nice.
Good night, old man.
All right, that's the old man down the road. He's up in the Smoky Mountains.
He's living the good life.
He is. Guy's been following me around for 25 years in radio. Everywhere I go, he finds me. It's amazing. Anyway, that's a wrap for the show for the Wednesday edition. Tomorrow is Thursday. Maybe we'll call it Take It Off Thursday. No idea what we're going to take off, but we'll just call it Take Off Thursday. Anyway, we say ciao mein
Honduras.
and arrivederci, and in the words of Ellen DeGeneres,
Be kind to one another.
folks, have a great day. Enjoy this great weather we're having, and we'll see you back here tomorrow right here at WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. Bye-bye for now.